Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm back at it like a bad habit. Crack at it like a crack addict. I'm a black man with a gift gab, and I talk shit, so I do brag. And all of my women are ebony, brown body like Hennessy. I am incredibly, never really wanna be on the low, so I don't be settling. Anybody really wanna take a nail? I've been winning, I don't really fail. I don't mention I got your attention. I've been blueprinting on a new level. Conversation like unspoken. I was set apart for unchosen. Any enemy offending me, I don't really give condolence. I don't really wanna be the nigga not potent. Hotter than a Glock on the pot you smoking. I'ma flow this shit, nigga, no ocean. I'ma smoke this shit like I'm hosting. I'ma slow this, nigga, no see growing. But I go in and repeat that I hop the fence. It's obvious, I stay unspoken. Unspoken.
Yo.
What up, man?
What's up?
Unspoken Conversation, episode 34. Sweetness, Walter Payton, rest in peace. You know, we always like to use jersey numbers.
Already.
To intro, you know. We have a special guest in the building today. We have YouTuber extraordinaire, Dallas native, Miss Ashley Devonna.
Hey.
How you doing?
Doing well. How about y'all?
I'm doing well. And, you know, I really appreciate you coming and pulling up on us today here at Unspoken Conversation. Mm-hmm. And before we go any further, you know, you heard the intro. That's a shout out to former Maximilian.
You know,
he done pulled up on us here.
Yeah, right.
You know, our little youngin'. You know,
appreciate
one of the hottest rappers out of the DFW.
That was nice.
Hey, but we still waiting on the master copy though.
Yeah, you know, because you know he a perfectionist. He didn't want us to play it, but you know we was like we gonna test it on the audience.
Right.
And, you know, give us some feedback on what y'all think about it, how y'all liking, if y'all fucking with it. So,
yeah, come in on an Unspoken Conversation on the IG page.
Oh, most definitely.
Let us know.
So, it's been a eventful week in the culture. Not even in the culture, just the news, period.
Man, Black History Month been fucked up.
But I'm glad Black History is gone because now, you know, I didn't want this interview gone left to actually cloud the end of Black History Month because we already had enough BS in that month. Because you think about Journey and.
Man, this shit like diarrhea though.
It's like, and the Chicago is just in the middle of it. Like the Chi is just like, if it ain't shootings, it's
you mean my ID right there.
But nah, man.
Man, Chicago gonna overcome, man. That's the funny thing about Chicago, and that's the greatest thing about Chicago. Like they ignore the national.
No, but they stick to each other. But you know, the thing is, they're very. Like the story, especially the R. Kelly situation that we wanted to get into, and I also wanted to get into the interview with the two girlfriends or live-ins or whatever they might be.
Yeah,
you know, I really wanted to get into that interview because, especially with us having a woman here, it's always good to get the perspective of somebody who, you know, we're guys, but sometimes we have a narrow-minded approach to it. So it's always good to get the opposite sexes. Perspective on things. So luckily we have somebody here who has who has an opinion on it, you know, because some people, you know, they're impartial on it. So it's always good. So first of all, I guess we'll start. I wanted to get into the interview first of all, because shout out to Gayle King.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She was so unbothered. I couldn't do it. I don't know how she did it.
But I was done when she called. She was like, Robert. Like you could tell she got kids. Like she literally was like, get it out. Okay, I'm bothered. And the fact that he got up all aggressively and she didn't flinch. Like that was a memeable moment in itself because I was like, they always tell you to keep a poise about you when you're on the camera and everything. But you know, it's always hard to do when you actually like in the ring, you know. Yeah. So I was like, that was such a memeable moment because she knew, like, man, you ain't telling me nothing but some bullshit. Man. Because he got too defensive.
That shit like trapped in the closet.
Oh,
115, nigga.
No, yeah. The tears, I was like, bro, eyes was dry, then goddamn powdered donuts. Like, I didn't see a drop of a tear
Hey man, do it sound crazy? That's why I enjoyed that shit. Man, when he stood up, I was like, "You hit it, R. Kelly." If you would have sung, it would have been like another trap in the closet.
No, because I was gonna say now he already.
I didn't mean it.
Like no, I gave y'all 30 years. I'm like, okay, so like. I want to see my kids.
If you did it, you did it, bro.
Bro, like
it is what it is.
He never said he didn't do it. You noticed that, right? He said my past,
like, my way past.
Like you don't just erase that.
The alliteration.
So you admitting for the stuff you got accused of.
Statute of limitations, my nigga.
No, I beat that case.
I beat that case.
I can't double jeopardy me.
I'm like, this is some other charges, bro. These are 2 more tapes. Like no.
Man, I got a story about R. Kelly, man. The sad thing, though. Man, I remember in 2011, I saw something. I saw his income statements. R. Kelly, at that time, only had about $1.2 million a year reported. You know what I'm saying?
And he got a lot of overhead when you got to think of all the chicks he's
But that's
furnishing,
not the only thing, though. I saw the house. I saw the velvet covers. I saw the little sunroom.
Oh yeah, because
you had the ACV of the house. He couldn't even get a mortgage, man.
I'm glad you ain't got to go back to that company, boy. You ain't getting back in there at all. Like,
I mean, that was public record anyway because it's a foreclosure.
He ain't see nobody like chained to a motherfucking radiator, no shit.
I saw the room.
No, they cleared it out. You know,
they cleared it out.
Yeah, I saw the room, the little sunroom where you pissed on the girl.
Oh, you saw that?
I saw that room. Well, I ain't gonna say yeah. All right, I saw the room of a video, a distorted video of a girl getting pissed on by.
So you can match the room.
Oh, you alleging it, huh?
Yeah, you gotta say allegedly.
Because some people say they see it, but you know, if everybody saw the same videotape, that shit was distorted. That part was very distorted.
Man,
that part.
But Marcus walked in and he's like, I recognize this room.
So I'm looking at it. So you know, I got ADD at work, so I'm in the system, and I'm like, let me pull up stuff in certain areas. So I said Olympic Park. Olympic Park, Illinois. Let's see. I just pull up a name like Kelly Robert. Let me go down here and see who I know.
It's about 700 Kelly Robinson.
Yeah, it'd be like 700, but you be like, all right, this ain't it. This ain't it.
You did not go through all of that,
Robert. Yeah. So it was just like a. It was
I don't even know if you should say that shit on tape, my nigga.
Oh well, I mean, shit. He already
know man names. That takes about to go through about 6. Go through names. It's about 6 every 10 minutes. So you probably sat there about 2 hours trying to find his house.
Pretty much.
Oh, no.
Bro.
Stalker.
But you don't tell nobody else that.
I found it.
That is stalkerish.
No, it wasn't even stalkerish, bro. It was just like, all right, and this is all right. So when you got work and you got stuff, then I don't know, it ain't stalkerish.
Well, yeah, we can pass it over if you want to. We're gonna act like that.
We're gonna move on.
We're gonna move on.
But Ashley,
yes.
You know, what is your opinion on the interview with the 2 women? You know, did you get a chance to catch it first of all?
I saw a clip of it on Twitter.
Just that clip, because that clip was a lot in there.
It was a lot.
It was alarming.
So what I read is that Robert Kelly was in the room when those 2 women were being interviewed. He was coughing. Yeah, he was coughing loudly. Even said like, "Do I have to come in and like intervene?" I don't know.
For real?
Yes, he is he's really groomed and trained these women. It would have been 3 if you watched Surviving R. Kelly. You remember what was her name? Dominique.
Yeah, I know it was Dominique, the one that looks like a boy.
Yeah. Her mom came and saved her, but I feel like it would have been those 3.
He probably ain't had no use for her no more.
I don't think so. She went back, but she went back to her mom too.
Yeah, he was like, you getting a little bit too boyish.
No. I just think her mom got in and was able to really bring her back to reality.
But I'm like, why didn't the other ones parents do that?
I don't necessarily believe that what the 2 girls were saying, Azriel and Joycelyn, they were saying, oh, our parents are just basically trying to get money from R. Kelly, because they really gave the judge a lot more evidence, just basically pointed to where all the dead bodies were, to say that, oh, our parents made us have intercourse with Robert on camera. Okay, well, you were underage. So you basically...
Everybody fucking up.
Like The publicists, the lawyers, I mean, everybody is just probably exhausted before this process got even like started.
And like, I ain't honestly, somebody was like, "Man, y'all gonna make him commit suicide," and I'm like,
"We're gonna make him
like
commit
us?
suicide? What did we do?
What did we do?
What did we do?"
Like,
But it's just funny that like people spend so much time hearing these rumors and stuff like that, and it was cool, and then he fell off. And then it's like, fuck it, let's get him now. You know what I'm saying?
No, the thing was, it wasn't cool. It was just he was making music that people were just
That's
like,
what I'm saying. They was turning the blind eye because he making money.
They were
though.
making
like,
jokes out of it, and they were just
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle made jokes out of it. Like countless people made jokes about R. Kelly peeing on an underage girl,
Yeah.
and that's not funny. But it like people have gotten
That
so
was a
used to
different age.
laughing at it now.
Yeah,
also
that
a
was
different
like
age.
straight-
Like, he could have never came out with that.
Yeah, he can't do that
honestly,
now. Yeah.
R. Kelly was done after, I think Chocolate Factory came out after he got acquitted or whatnot. And that was like his last,
Step
like,
in the Name of
hoorah.
Love, just
like
put
his
us in
last
hypnosis.
hoorah.
Yeah.
So everybody that
Remember?
did listen to him at that time still, because we know you was married to Aaliyah. And and at the time we was 15 trying to figure out how you married to Aaliyah.
I don't think nobody. It's not really hard to figure that.
No.
shit out.
I was 15.
That shit-
I was 15 years old. Aaliyah was 15. So I'm like, how you marry her, bruh? But at the same time, we all saw when we went to high school, them old cats come
old
picking up
cats
on our
got
chicks.
Yeah.
them
we,
young
was,
chicks.
we were just debating this at the barbershop today. Shout out to black barbershops. Y'all always get good.
I'm gonna
debate.
sneak my way into one day. I
we
want to
got-
know what y'all
it's
talking
a-
You
it's
about.
a
never
couple
been in a
beauticians
barbershop?
in there.
No.
Been to a
There's a couple.
No.
There's a couple beauticians in there, so you can kind of act like go in there and act like you inquiring about something. You know, we can take a tour. We'll go to shout out to the Art of Barbering. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
when you want to take a tour, man, you know, I'll let you pull up. The best time is Thursday and Friday,
Okay.
about 6:00, 6ish. You know the music is
That's
on.
when the debates get real heavy.
What? You know, the drink in the system.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, they was talking about R. Kelly. So, you know, of course it was the usual, they trying to get rid of all like icons and da-da-da-da. You know, that 45 plus crowd.
yeah.
You know, that's a different age group.
They trying to get
They-
the story
they
out.
have-
Now, see, but when people say that though,
It pissed me off.
no, because white folks got dudes who done did all types of crazy shit.
I said, what about Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah,
But
Woody Allen.
that was last year.
But we
man.
don't be
That was
talking
8
about it. I'm like-
What about Woody Allen? What about Elvis Presley? Like these
yeah.
niggas
But
did all types of
But
crazy
this is what I
shit,
said
man.
about Elvis Presley, and this is my outlook on Elvis Presley and also Jerry Lee Lewis. You have a lot of your great grandparents, like we saw it on Color Purple, like your great grandmother being married at 15, 16.
Oh,
your
yeah.
granddad was 26.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's your wife. And back then, that was a different age.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it was. I'm not excusing it, but it's a lot easier to digest somebody marrying a 15-year-old in 1930, 1940 than a guy fucking and pissing on a 14-year-old girl and sending her back home
But
to
this-
her parents.
But
this
it
is
come
the-
from the same sediment though.
Yeah.
No,
and-
I get what you're saying, but I'm talking about the perspective of public opinion.
And this is why
You know
R.
what I'm
Kelly.
saying?
This is why I say we can't relate to R. Kelly because R. Kelly
Exactly.
grew up in the '60s where it was still common at the end of the common
No.
practice.
No,
I won't say
Like the
that.
'60s, he did grow up in
I
the
won't
60s.
say that, but
we '80s.
No.
90s,
R. Kelly's
80s.
behavior stemmed from abuse and
yeah,
trauma
yeah,
that
exactly.
he did not heal.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, it's his business if he was peeing on a girl who was his age.
Right.
That's his business.
Different strokes for different
That's a
folks.
kink. But for him to be peeing on an underage girl and to have an obsession with recording his interactions with women, specifically underage women, that is trauma. That is not
Yeah, we
growing up
not
in the
going with the
60s.
times.
So should we feel sorry for him?
No.
You
I
both
know.
like
No,
you
it's
can be both
a
though.
part of
Like,
it is you feel like
There's
he
a little
got,
empathy there.
yeah,
Yeah,
it has
part
to
of it
be.
is because you feel like he got a raw deal as far as like the impression of actual getting a real perspective on sex and the behaviors of sex. Like, because his got messed up from the beginning.
I mean, but he is a victim, and
because you got to think,
as much as he made victims, he's a victim in himself.
Yeah.
So.
He's a victim only until we get to the point where he's causing trauma for other people.
That's when you can't take it.
But that don't mean he don't deserve the blame.
Right.
Yeah.
So we saying just like you gonna go to jail first.
Yeah.
Then we gonna hope
we gonna try to get you some help.
Our goal is to help you get better.
I mean, you could go into a whole different conversation about rehabilitation.
Because this goes into the
right.
drawback of rehabilitation and the judicial system, and
his music is gonna be his music.
Wait, hold up. I was trying to go somewhere. Like,
my bad.
It kind of gets back to like what is really the appropriate punishment for certain crimes and certain individuals. Not talking about just R. Kelly exclusively, but you have, like, say for instance, you have the somebody who 19-year-old that just basically shoot up a bunch of people that is bipolar, and he ain't been medicated, and because he can't afford it. You have situations like that, like. We sending something to life in prison just to put them in front of people, around people, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does it where's the, like, that's kind of the gray line that's hard to determine, like, when is it appropriate? Because you got some people that can put on the act, you feel me? Like, you got others, so it's just, that's always been, like, the weird dynamic in the legal system is trying to find the appropriate punishment for people who are of mental disorder.
But that's the downfall of our justice system, because we punish them by putting them in jail and then kind of leave it up to them after serving years, or serving life. There's nothing you can do about that, but like we leave it to them afterwards to rehabilitate themselves and try to get acclimated in society again. For R. Kelly, he does deserve to be punished for what he's done, but he also, at this point, I don't know if the word is deserves, but he definitely needs help.
Yeah.
And you can't get both in the same place.
And speaking of that, like,
you had a good point when you were speaking about the rehabilitation part. Like, I know we speak of the justice system. They job is to enforce, laws so, citizens can feel safe. However, when it does become an epidemic and it's our culture, do we really have to give them 100% responsibility to rehab them after they get out of prison, or should it be something of a culture? Should our culture try to lead that effort?
Because the job of any type of government is to keep society going. So they're not doing it because they deserve it. They're doing it because that's how you keep a motherfucking civilized place. That's how you make this a more livable habitat with less crime. You can't just treat criminals like criminals because they're gonna stay criminals.
And I actually have it's a movie out that just released on HBO with Jeffrey Wright, Biggs from Rockefeller Records, Kareem Burke. He's the executive producer on it. Jeffrey Wright plays a convict who was convicted of murder, did 25 years and is getting ready to get out. I don't know if anybody here has seen it, but he literally was like, he was scared, he was nervous of going back out. Like, he didn't have a plan. You know what I'm saying? He ran the jail. He could maneuver in the jail. He had that figured out. But now you got to adjust into the real world. He couldn't do it, and just to see, Jeffrey Wright is a great actor, so it kind of gave it some, a real face, like. Because I look at, my brother's dad, my dad have all been in the legal system. They've all done time. And even the 4 days that I spent in there, you kind of got it inside because, I had a legal issue due to clerical errors. But you get a real inside look, because I don't even know how we got here, but I know that was one thing, like, when you see a 17-year-old in there who was in there for armed robbery because he's trying to get an abortion, like, you like, damn, like $250, $300. Now you got 7 years. It's like you got yourself in a situation, but I had somebody when I made my F ups. You kind of have a support system to kind of get you out of, even if it's not your parents.
Yeah, but I think my point was go back to what I was trying to get at. Was like culture. Like, she stated that the justice system where it fails at. And I understand where you was coming from. Like, if you're going to also enforce, you should also be responsible for helping with the rehabilitation. But also, I think we should, as every culture, black, if it's a majority of white people, they probably have their own rehabilitation to get them back into civilization. And I think we should take lead that like it's money out there. It's just about
But we
applying
ain't
the energy to it.
prioritized our veterans, so you know they not.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Good point.
Yeah,
that's kind of what the suck part about it is. The people that's even fighting for the country can't even get rehabilitation. You know.
So,
but it all got to do with your idea of justice, because some people gonna tell you that since he done what he done, he don't deserve shit.
right.
But shit, you don't give a motherfucker shit, he gonna start taking shit. So,
And so it's a 50-50 chance he could go back and really it's more of an 80-20 chance that because they say once you go in it's like a revolving door.
Yeah.
So,
hey, how many years you think he finna get? Plus or minus Bill Cosby. That's it.
what did Bill Cosby get?
I thought Bill Cosby got 3. Did he get more than that?
But Bill Cosby like 60 something years old.
He like in the 80s. I ain't even bother looking at the sentencing because I was like, I don't know if he gonna make it.
I don't know what Bill Cosby got.
I know that sucked, but I was like,
I didn't either
I
though.
don't know if we gonna see him on our side. More.
So all right, plus or minus Tekashi. Plus or minus
some whole other shit. Like,
plus or minus 5.
But like we talked about it a lot though. I think he gonna get about 15.
I think he gonna get
15.
30.
You think he's getting 30?
I think
Man,
he
they ain't
getting
gonna
30.
For what? 30 for what?
We don't even know.
I think he gonna get 30.
For what?
15.
Everything.
What is
For
the charge you
everything.
think?
Yeah, but what is everything?
But he might get a judge that do him to him, cause some of that's up to the discretion of the judge. Where you can go
I'm gonna
from
be real, and the reason why I
15
say
to 30,
and the reason
yeah,
why
I don't know his charges.
Let me see. We're gonna look it up.
Look it up. And the reason why I say
Bill
this
Cosby's
because I
3 to 10
think
years.
now the public
what?
has already sentenced
3 to
him
10 years.
this time.
Child pornography charges. So
Those new tapes that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's not gonna get him. How long that's gonna get him? It's not gonna get him enough for like 30 years, nothing like that though. If it's just
All right.
child pornography,
I say 30. No. I'm gonna stay with 30.
But
I'm kind of scared to Google child pornography on my phone.
yeah,
The feds are really
just gonna move on again.
The feds is out here.
Man.
All right. So it's 10 counts, and each one is 3 to 7 years.
Oh,
So
okay.
it could be 30.
Damn.
Like that, 30.
I didn't know he
30,
had 10. I thought it was just going
damn,
off
it's
the
10
tapes.
counts.
Like,
Yeah.
Damn.
nice to know you, bro.
So all right, man, we gonna keep it. we
But
gonna keep it moving.
So also what happened in the news today, Khloe Kardashian tried to come to her senses and then she fucked up by taking a whole spread with Gucci. I think she trying to troll us.
That was bold.
Black Twitter gave her the business, and so she said, you know what? I got something for y'all. Put a whole about 30 Gucci bags in one picture. It was like, anybody want to win one? I'm like, you trying us.
Damn.
Did you see that?
Of course, yeah.
Man, can you beat up Chloe though?
Like, can you
Hell
ever
no.
lightweight? Cause
Damn.
like she like that's bold.
that
Like,
OJ blood,
It gotta
boy.
be Gucci.
She said what?
It gotta be
Hold
Gucci.
on.
She's not related to
That's
OJ.
OJ jeans, bro.
Hold on.
You can't win.
She trolled the whole picture, man. Hold on, Spike. You can't
just
show us
joking.
this, can you?
Just joking. That was
If you
just.
can,
No, we
show
go-
it to me.
man.
If not, I'd catch it.
It better not still be up there. I'm gonna feel away. You know how some
It's
people.
probably still up.
So she just did a bag giveaway just to get all the black girls.
Oh yeah,
back,
she
huh?
took it down now. Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, she took it down. You can look it
Okay.
up on Google
Yeah,
or
all I
the
gotta
Shade
do go
Room.
Yeah,
That's
Okay.
messed up, man. She
yeah,
might
she
well.
tried us, man.
She might as well offer y'all a watermelon and fried chicken party.
Bro,
Nah.
like, I'm like, you forgot your daughter is half black food? Like,
I know y'all gonna love this.
I think, but that show you how unaware
I don't
some
think she did it to the black community. I
Nah.
think she did it to
I'm
the
just
like
saying, man.
people that's outraged, like the stay woke people.
I mean,
That's really it.
Yeah, she did it to the stay woke more than just black people. She just
Oh.
people that be stay woke and in their
Yeah.
business, everybody business here.
I already told
Need
y'all
something to
what I
talk
feel
about.
those brands were doing. I feel like they really just trying us so we can kind of get out of wearing they stuff.
Hey, and that makes sense.
For
When I
real?
was
You think
I was
so?
at the mall yesterday and I paid
it's so
attention to
bold.
that. Yeah, it's
It's
bold.
bold. It's
I
like,
think they just capitalize off of our outrage. They don't care if we wear it or not.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like they, because they know, unfortunately, most, high fashion brands, their main customer that they worry about are the ones that buy seasonally. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that come
Yeah.
in there and buy, not the print shirts and all the stuff we
Yeah.
buy.
No,
People
just
that
buy
actually
the
go in
whole-
there and buy a whole season worth of stuff,
Yeah.
like the private shoppers and things like that. So they could care, even though our dollar is really, really vast, but they feel like they'll hold the value more easily due to having a different demographic wearing it. Because billionaire heiresses and the wealthy do not want to dress like prima donna, or shout out to prima donna, self-made black, but you know we're more gaudy with our high fashion.
We tend to be.
We wear prints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't really want that to be the representation of what we think Gucci is. It's a whole. It's like polo with purple label. Like it's more expensive than anything you got with a logo on there.
Yeah.
But you don't know that it's the more subtle things that actually hold the value. You know what I mean? So they don't care about us.
And that's crazy because I want to give a shout out to the white people for dropping knowledge on shit that they think that they shunning down on us. Because now you damn right, I'm not finna wear they shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna wear no print shit. I'm gonna wear Gucci and you ain't gonna not know it.
I mean, why would you wear the print shit anyway?
Exactly, bringing that awareness. Like, why would you do it?
I ain't gonna lie, I was tempted to wear a Burberry shirt for my baby shower.
Hold on,
that
the
is
beat.
the
Hold on,
uniform.
I was gonna be funny, you know.
Hold on,
That's
that
the
Burberry
uniform.
shirt
You know what I'm
though.
saying?
You talking about the one with just the print,
Just the
right?
print.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
I
mean, but
like,
with the
that's
white pants,
like Gucci.
with the
one.
white pants.
That's a little
you know?
different than just coming out with just a Gucci right on your chest. I mean,
Yeah.
But we know what it is. That's like the first shirt you get.
Just
when
like
you
if you wear the
Burberry.
Gucci shoes, just like you
That's
wear the
the-
Gucci shoes with the
that's
certain
like
belt.
it's $325.
You know what it is.
That's like every dope boy's dream to get that first Burberry.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in here. I'm official.
So hey, it's $2.95 if anybody want to donate 3 Burberry
No.
shirts.
Hey man, I might, but hey, if it's a cool black designer out there that can make me a mimic of the Burberry shirt,
No, you
not
don't.
not the fake thing. I like something in that
You talking
that
about something, that's
fashion.
what you like. That's
we
what
gonna
you
start
like.
a new uniform. You know what I'm saying in the culture.
maybe that's what you need to do.
No,
though.
just support black designer and wear what
And
they
that's
put
what-
out.
And you know who pushes, and I can give him a shout out, and I want to give him a shout out to Charlamagne the God for putting me on like people who actually, because he wears a lot of like black designers and black.
For real.
Yeah, if you notice, if you pay attention to him,
But that nigga ain't switched up his shoes yet.
I don't know what
He
he's
keeping
wearing.
it white
What?
with the Pumas. He
oh, you
getting
know
there.
Emery though.
But he getting there, yeah.
But he doing it, you know, Emery, he a real big advocate of Emery and everything like that. So shout out. So, you know, we have a YouTuber here. What is the perfect way to introduce you as like what would you say your title would be, or what would you brand yourself as?
Content creator and beauty influencer.
Ooh, that was heavy. Sounds
Yeah.
sounds dope.
That's dope.
So
Sound cool in the motherfucker.
first of all, let the listeners know, you know, your YouTube page and your Instagram and everything like that. First of all, so they'll know where to follow you, even though you're popular.
Oh my gosh. So you can find me at Miss Ashley Devonna, MSASHLEY DEVONNA. So Ashley is my first name, Devonna is my middle name. And it's Ashley Devonna on YouTube, Miss Ashley Devonna on Instagram.
Okay. So first of all, currently you have like 333,000 subscribers, you know, slight flex.
Light work.
Light work. Just a third of a million.
No cap.
You know what I'm
No
saying?
None. No cap whatsoever.
So you got a plaque in the mail and everything.
Yeah, it's on my dad's mantle above
for
the
real?
fireplace next to my
It's like a
business
YouTube
degree.
Grammy, you know what I'm saying?
That's really a good accomplishment, though.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So first of all, like, kind of tell us how you got your start into just being a content creator, like your page, and how, you know, what was it that kind of gave you the grassroots momentum to grow into, you know, your platform today?
Well, I was on the step team in high school, and I was the captain of my team my senior year, and I would have these big sleepovers at my house, and my dad would order us food, and then he would like dip out and be like, y'all got the whole house. So we would wake up the next morning before the show, and I would curl everybody's hair with my flat iron and like do everybody's makeup. If we wore purple, I do purple eyeshadow. If we wore blue, I do blue eyeshadow. So I was responsible for doing like 30 girls' hair and makeup. We had like an assembly line, like just rotation. You come in the bathroom, and then you sit over here, and then you sit over there, and you go eat breakfast. You go iron everybody's clothes. Like, we had it down packed to a science. But when I was about to graduate, they were just asking me like, none of us know how to curl our hair with a flat iron. So can you show us how to do that? And I'm like, how am I going to show each one of y'all individually? And they were like, could you make a video and put it on Facebook? And I was like, oh yeah, I could. But I was already putting videos on Facebook. Me and my friend, like, we weren't camera shy at all. We weren't nervous at all. And we were very creative. So we would make videos like sitting in our cars, and we would just like talk, and we would do skits. Yeah, like one time she interviewed me and I pretended to be Nicki Minaj. It was so crazy, but it was really, really funny, and it was really entertaining, and our Facebook followers found it really funny, really entertaining. So when they said make a video and put it on Facebook, I was like, I'll do you one better and put it on YouTube. And that's just how I got started.
Wow.
And what year was that?
2013.
So 2013. So that kind of goes into people buying into like you as a person. You know, with us starting our podcast, we always said I wanted to be a little bit more personal on the show because I feel like that authenticity with your I don't even like to say your consumers, like
your
pretty
listeners,
much your listeners, your viewers, because I know that I love YouTube, I love podcasts, and I love like basically content as a whole, especially vlogs or just anything that I can kind of get behind the veils of like the everyday like.
Yeah. So and I have a question like on YouTube, like what was like some small key components in 2013 that set you, that put you in a situation than everybody else is on YouTube in 2013.
Right. Well, 2013 is not when I grew. And 2014 was not my year either.
So you had to learn as you go.
Yeah, I was learning as I went, and it wasn't something that people were doing as a full-time job. At that time, technically, we weren't getting paid for it. We didn't really get paid until like 2014, 2015.
Okay.
So 2013 and 2014, I was working 2 jobs. So I was working at Nordstrom, I was working at Windsor, I was going to school, and I was uploading YouTube content consistently.
How long did it take you to upload?
Oh, it didn't take long at all. I was already editing videos from, when I was posting on Facebook.
Okay.
So I taught myself how to edit in iMovie. I taught myself how to work my cameras and stuff. So that wasn't the hard part.
Okay.
That was the easy part. It was just growing. That was just a little difficult at that time. I didn't really grow and like hit like this peak until 2015. I believe it was my how to contour and highlight video, like a foundation routine, where I just showed from start to finish how I do my makeup, that people it took off.
When I saw them contour videos the first time, I was like, they didn't change the game.
It's so intriguing.
No, and you will see, like really women.
Women.
No,
you can.
Everybody wants.
Like when you see the contour,
they'll sit there and look at like back to back to back.
Oh yeah.
For real, so
that shit crazy though. That shit like camouflage. For
Oh yeah, no, like but it's really crazy when you see like the Asian people like
they do a
like
lot.
They do a lot of creativity. Is what I'm getting. Like it's like when you see it's like a method. Contour is a method, I guess. So when you see the method, the base method, you like, damn. You can do a lot just off those 3 little stripes.
The angles and shit.
Yeah, the angles. So that's why I was like, it's like creativity of it. And at that time you said you was doing it, that was really big.
But I wanted to, but it's like piggybacking off of what you're saying, like the fact that she was doing it and it's pretty big. But I want people to pay attention to that the slow grind.
Yeah,
like she had to put into her craft in order to get to a point where she was able to sustain and actually, sufficiently support herself on her craft, because a lot of people want the quick, payoff, and a lot of times, because I know I've gotten off of things that I started because I didn't get the results I wanted right away.
Yeah, a lot of people want the resource instead of doing the research, and I spent those first couple of years doing a ton of research. I researched different ways to edit on iMovie, and then I learned about Final Cut, and I pirated Final Cut. I didn't buy Final Cut until like maybe 2016, 2017. Okay. So I was just stealing it off the internet. And
listen, I didn't know you can get it off there. That's why.
Don't do that now.
Now you got it on by the software.
Give your computer a virus. They figured it out. But before they figured us out, I was pirating Final Cut Pro and just teaching myself how to use different transitions and how to use just different effects and how to apply text and how to change the fonts and how to add music. And you learn the hard way because YouTube is really strict on copyright.
Yeah.
So they'll snatch your video down like, oh, this song is cute, but take it off YouTube. So it's like, you
see like the reaction videos, they'll skip parts of the song.
Yeah.
Stop, and, to make sure that they don't play the entire video.
You got to tiptoe when it comes to YouTube and copyright, but Editing has always been the easy part. Filming the content, being behind the camera, talking to the camera as though I'm actually talking to people, as though they're actually my friends.
Yeah.
That's always been the easy part.
So
and
future producer.
I mean, we'll see. I would love to. I would love to.
So,
Yeah.
So talking about, so what's the end game? Like, not the end game, but what do you see like yourself going from here?
I do have a business degree, and I do check quite often just to make sure it doesn't expire, and it doesn't. So I'm doing YouTube full time now, but that's just because it allows me to do it full time. But the end game is to impact the beauty industry. So whether that's releasing products or helping other creators and influencers build their brand up to the point where they can do it full time as well. Right. You know, a mixture
we
of
need
all
some
of
beer
that.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's the beauty of YouTube. That's not my ministry, but it's somebody.
I'm gonna find something.
I'm pretty sure you said product. I'm pretty sure you'll find that product.
Hey, I want to see how I'm gonna get me a YouTube play.
Hey, bro, you should do some beer videos. Like,
my shit ain't fly enough.
And you should produce some of our beer videos. Like, hey, y'all look like that, and I'm gonna bring in this, this certain person that got this product and put it on y'all.
But see, you have to. That's the one thing about YouTube. You have to know your audience. For so long, I got tripped up because I was trying. Like, everybody would come to me. I had like 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. They're like, "Oh my God, that's literally so many people." Promote this apple juice. And I'm just like, but I don't talk about apple juice. I talk about alkaline water. They're like, no. Promote this apple juice. So you have to make sure that you know your audience. Okay. And I told somebody the other day, like, mukbang videos, like eating on camera, is really popular. And you could have a favorite food. It could be cupcakes. But if people want to see you eat ribs, you better eat ribs.
I have a guilty pleasure. so
mine too.
Watch on Instagram and
yes.
YouTube mukbang videos. And the craziest stuff about it is like,
what is mukbang?
People eat on camera.
It's like an Asian practice, but it's a lot of people have taken to America where they're like eating like an enormous amount of food, like a crab boil or in Asian places. I mean, like in Tokyo, and because I think it started in Japan, and so they'll have like they'll be eating like squid, but like almost like a live octopus or like. It's just
it's basically an eating show. That's
eat
what
all,
mukbang
like, and they
stands
just
for.
like put in mukbang on YouTube. But I bet you watch more than one video.
I did want to ask one more. And, when did you start paying attention to the metrics and the data analytics of? Did that help you like advance your YouTube credibility? Like when you start paying attention more to the data analytics and the matrix of it?
I wasn't really paying attention the first year. I started paying attention, I would say, the second year, so about 2014. That's when I started looking. You look at your watch time and you try to get it above like between 5 to 7 minutes. Okay. And if you can get it higher, definitely get it higher than that. But 2014, it was kind of towards the end that we were allowed to like monetize our videos and put ads in our videos. So I was just looking at the stuff because I was just kind of curious to see who was watching me, where they were, how long they were watching me, things like that. It wasn't really, honestly, until money came into it that you were like, oh, well, let me look and see what's going on. Because studying that definitely can teach you how to leverage and continue making content that's going to attract an even bigger audience. So around 2015 is when I really started paying attention. And because I paid attention, I made a Chit Chat Get Ready With Me video. And that's just where you're talking to the camera and you're putting your makeup on at the same time. So I'm really good at multitasking. I really don't get off topic. I really don't get off the topic. So if I have a topic that I'm talking about, I'm doing my makeup flawlessly and talking, and I'm not stuttering or saying, hold on, y'all. I'm just like talking. And then that one did really, really well. Okay. And then I started a vlog series called As Told by Ashley. So I used my camera, like a point and shoot. Right now it's the Canon G7X Mark II that I'm using to vlog, and I would just take that with me and I would just show me hanging out with my friends, me studying for school, me failing a class. I showed everything. Oh, yeah. I showed everything.
So how do you determine what like is too personal? Like, cause I know what I've noticed is when you have fans.
That's exactly what I was finna ask.
Because like when you have fans, people that buy into you or just basically are invested in you, like they subscribe to you. So when they get the notification, like they going to look for you. So like, has it been times where you feel like they kind of like crossed the line, or they want, like, I'm sure you get, correspondence and things like that.
It's not necessarily crossing the line if you ask me. It's really your favorite influencer is somebody who is accessible to you, somebody who is relatable to you. I can't touch Beyonce. I can't touch Kim Kardashian. But I can touch my favorite YouTuber if I go to BeautyCon, or if I go to Gym Beauty, or if we live in the same city and I see them doing the same things that I do.
Right.
There can be a big YouTuber on a college campus. Somebody could have 1 million subscribers. If you look at somebody like Megan Thee Stallion, she still goes to college.
Yeah. Oh, the rapper.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's still in school. She has not dropped out. She's getting her degree. So imagine,
and that's cool.
Imagine walking around campus though, and you're a college student and you see Megan Thee Stallion, and you're just like, oh my God, like there she is. So that's what it feels like to other people when they see like their favorite YouTuber, their favorite influencer.
And that's a cool, genuine feel. It
is, until you want something to be private that you really deserve to have private.
You should have that right still.
You should, but you don't.
You ever felt like just saying,
so if you
for about 2 weeks or something, like not recording?
I have.
You have to just,
so do you get feedback from when you stop?
Yes, of course. When you try to pull back and you try to take a break for your own sanity, because sometimes you get so wrapped up, you are living for YouTube instead of doing YouTube for a living.
Right.
You can get it mixed up really quickly. So sometimes you do have to take a break and regroup, and people just get on Twitter. Where are you? Are you alive? Are you okay? Amber alert. You're MIA. Let us blink twice if you're safe.
Do you have fan pages?
For real?
I don't think so.
Because I think that's the creepiest thing ever. Like,
no, fan pages are really sweet.
Because they get pictures like, I'd be like, where did you get this picture? Like,
they posted it.
All right, because I know like LeBron, he got like a bunch of them, and they'll have like a picture, like a video of somebody took of Bronny like walking to class or something.
Yeah.
Right? I'd be like,
do you own that content? Would you? I mean, I guess if you had the,
if somebody takes a picture of you don't own that content.
You're right. That's just like a tattoo.
Yeah, it's free game.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I'm gonna say like, what you haven't like, Flim, you had anything you wanted to say? Because I know you be having some stuff. Like
nah, man, I ain't got nothing really throwed off to say right now.
Not even throwing off, but you be having different perspective on things.
I guess so like dating.
I did want to ask that. Like,
how does that go when you?
How's that going?
It can be a little difficult, because they get investigated. I guess you would say.
For real?
Yeah.
So they probe. You can't post them.
No, you can't go out in public with them.
Oh yeah, because people see you out.
People see you out.
Wow.
Like you
Ain't that
can't
crazy?
put on a disguise.
That's crazy.
People will see you out, and then they'll go onto your Instagram or to your YouTube channel, specifically YouTube channel, and be like, "Oh, that was you in that yellow dress sitting under that painting at the daiquiri shop with that guy who was wearing the khaki pants with the black shirt and the low fade." Like, what?
Wow, that's
so
detailed.
how do you explain it to somebody you potentially want to date? Like,
I try not to.
So he just got to just figure.
You judge them off their confidence. Like,
how do you drop it to a dude like, I'm a YouTuber?
And initially they find it really interesting, and to have somebody who is making a living for a living,
right.
That's something that's very admirable. Until you realize what comes with being associated with that person.
So they become like a character in your
unfortunately, even if you don't want them to be, unfortunately. And a lot of the times you have to go public. You may not share their name or their age or their occupation or anything like that.
All it is to cheat. like, bitch. Operation Ashley mad with another chick.
No, but unfortunately, there are some people out there who want to see you go through stuff like that, so they'll know, but they won't tell you.
Well, I just say it because I know, like,
but somebody gonna tell you.
Like Just Hilarious, like Just Hilarious,
an old boy.
Yeah, that was like, hey, did you see, girl? Go look at his baby mama story. He done. Like,
that's messed up.
Then her old boyfriend, like they caught him at a casino, like with another chick.
Damn,
like, bro, you can't even live.
Yeah,
they got group chats. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't even know if that's a good. Is it a good thing for you? Or is it a bad thing for you?
I mean, you got. It's like you got about 333,000.
You got an army.
You have to factor in that there. It could be it's a smaller population, but it's still a population of people who really get enjoyment off of that kind of stuff, and they get enjoyment off of keeping that from you and like waiting until you figure it out, and they like to see you embarrassed and
like
hurt.
This is like behind the scenes of reality TV.
Is it any like retention strategies that you try to do to your fans to like keep them engaged other than like YouTube? Are you like doing any? I know you probably doing any summits, and like I know they just had a Black women empowerment in Vegas. With a lot of products being sold and a lot of networking, just all women. I think Kamala Harris was there. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Angel Ratcliffe, Miss RNBA. She was there.
Past guest on.
Yeah, she was there. It was just a lot of women. And do you try to try to keep your fans engaged with what you going on outside of just, hey, I'm dropping a new blog.
How can they meet and engage with you?
I love to do meet and greets. I really do. My safety is always the number one priority, and as your platform grows, a lot of times you have to do meet and greets with bigger brands so they can hire security, or if you do a meet and greet, you have to have your own security. But meet and greets are always my favorite. I love interacting with people, and even people who are local in Dallas who will say like, I saw you out and I thought that was you, but I didn't come speak. But now that I see on your vlog that you were wearing that orange sweater and you had your hair up in a bun, that was you. So I always encourage people, if you see me out, come up to me and talk to me, because I do feel like anyone who can come up and talk to me, we are literally like friends. And I ask people questions and get to know them. They already know enough about me. Tell me about you.
You can't leave the house bum yard.
I do.
Cause you be at Walmart at Target. It's like, oh shit, look like.
You put the hat down low.
Hey,
I can and I do.
Lucky now you can get your groceries delivered. So it's
I
easier.
love going to get my own groceries.
I like to pick up.
I wake up at. I can wake
order
up.
The same stuff.
No, usually I wake up at like 6 or 6:30. But there are some times. I mean, I really don't worry about like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be seen. But if that was a concern that particular day, then I'll just wake up at like 5 and go get my groceries at like 5:30 in the morning. No sane person is going to be up at 5:30 in the morning looking for me at the grocery store.
But see, you gotta make sure they done deliver. Cause see, a lot of times they don't be unloading. I used to work at like Walmart and Harvey Food.
But no, I don't want it delivered because I don't want people coming to my house.
I'm talking about like the big trucks. I'm talking about the new produce and stuff.
No, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, let me get a little nosy. So you said, your boyfriend.
How your DMs looking?
They are so dry.
I was just about to ask you.
Really?
Like,
I wish people shot their shot.
I was just about to say because
they're so dry.
I was just gonna say what you have.
You can look. I will show them to you. I have no shame.
But let's see, because I want to see a couple. Because I was about to say, you got how many followers you got on Instagram? Like 78,000.
Yeah, something like that.
So I always
nobody shot a shot. He's gonna see.
They don't shoot their shot with me. They just don't.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Man, I ain't gonna. Damn. It ain't no dudes.
No dudes. I'm not lying.
Damn.
So, it's none. It's just my
bro,
followers.
Y'all sleep.
So what you think? You think they're intimidated by your lifestyle?
It could be.
The first guy you see on this list deserves a reply. For real.
Hey,
whoever he is. I'm still going.
No, you're still scrolling.
Oh, nah, you know him. Okay.
Yeah, I know him. The ones in my DMs are the ones that I know, like we know each other, we're friends. Nobody slides in my DMs.
Wow. That's horrible.
Bro.
Unless it's the usual like rose emoji. But that doesn't happen often.
Man, I'm really ashamed of us brothers out here in Dallas.
Man, I mean,
not even just in Dallas.
It's crazy because
like social media.
I mean, because it's
and then here's the 99 plus. You can scroll through that too. It's just women.
Do you feel the way though? Like,
so the women ain't getting at you either?
No.
So have you? All right. So have you jumped into somebody's DMs?
Yeah.
Have I jumped in somebody's DMs? I did once.
Who?
I went to college with him. Well, I went to TW. He went to UNT.
What happened?
He tweeted something about like he wanted to go to Six Flags or something. And then he was subtweeting somebody else, and he was like, I want to take you to Six Flags, but you got to be mine first. So I hopped in his DMs, and I was like, okay, I'm yours. Here's my number.
Damn.
What?
Dope.
He texted me and he was just like, "Were you serious?" Like, yeah,
Come on. That's a terrible question.
Like, what?
yeah, I was serious.
Be ready at 6.
Hey, he trying to make sure. Hey, this ain't no bot.
Be ready at 6.
It might be a setup though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like,
No,
it's
I
just
get that, but after you go back to her page and
He
you
gonna
text,
be
you just be like,
He
hey,
gonna wake up in a
Yeah.
bathtub.
I call it. No, what I'm saying is like, because I look at it like this. I always say that's like the dopest thing for a guy when, you know, a woman just shoot her shot. Because we kind of know like the interest is there.
Well,
You know
it
what I'm
just
saying?
depends on the woman though.
No, I'm not. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I might not jump at it, but I appreciate all come-ons.
But my thing is with women,
Some.
perhaps we have that hesitation because I know for me, a lot of men, y'all's Instagram is so vague. I don't know if y'all are married, if y'all have children, if y'all have a
Oh,
girlfriend,
yeah.
and I don't know if
That's
I
on
even
purpose.
ask if you're going to
You
tell
gotta
me
look
the
for signs.
truth.
It's
How
subtle.
do I
It's subtle
even
signs.
know?
It's subtle signs. And I'll drop them on the.
So that's what you got Facebook
show.
for. Like,
Nobody gets
Facebook-
on Facebook
Can't be
unless
telling
they're
everything.
65.
No, I totally agree. I think Instagram, it's kind of like MySpace and different type of platforms. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really look for, if you put that information out there on Instagram, then that's what you branding yourself as. Like, it's just, your Instagram is like, all right, I remember Facebook, well, not Facebook, MySpace. It was all about the playlist.
Yeah.
You come to the page.
No,
That
but it was
top eight.
also about the top 5, the
Yeah.
top 8, top 10.
That top
You know
8
what
was
I'm saying?
real, bro.
Yeah.
You moved. Hey, she ain't. Hey, we got into it, so I'm gonna move her to 7.
Yeah.
Oh, and she can be hot if you take her out the top 8.
Hell yeah.
Or a lot of guys on MySpace would hide their top friends completely. And it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, who are your top friends? Who are they?
Bro, you know, but if you, I think people don't realize, you know, when we was changing the background and stuff, you know, we was slightly doing code.
Yes,
right?
it was.
Yeah, we
It was
were.
what
Coding for
HTML. What you
real.
said?
That's HTML, yeah.
It was
Like,
HTML.
you know, Negroes didn't even realize we
Yeah,
had that in
and
us.
that's why you kept getting them viruses.
If you ask somebody to do that shit, they be like, man, I can't do this shit.
Oh, no. A lot of us would pay people to do it for us. Like,
Yeah.
or we would charge people to do it for
Man,
them.
I logged into my Black Planet, my Black Planet.
My
Whoa,
black
whoa.
one, your blood.
You lied to
Wow.
you.
I
What?
had a black
My
Planet.
Black Planet. Say that 3 times and fast.
Hey, it may be start getting back popping though.
I
I
jumped.
doubt it.
I jumped out. I jumped.
Yeah, that's, you so Solange, that was a bad investment. For
No,
Solange?
it wasn't
Can't
a bad
believe that was
investment,
bad.
but like, nah,
But
girl.
it like was weird. Like I was like, it's still people on here. Like,
For real? So people still
No,
using that shit?
yes, they are still on Black
What they doing on
Planet.
Black Planet now,
bro,
man?
I was like,
What
what
the
the
same
fuck?
thing they
What
were
they talking
doing in
about?
2002.
Just
Like updated pictures, like New Year's Eve pictures, like New Year's pictures. I'm like, they still using this shit.
Yes.
Wow.
You really low.
I would-
You
hey,
know,
I'm
People
not
still
gonna lie.
use MySpace.
I'm not gonna lie. Either a music platform need to add comments and a timeline and a upload,
That's MySpace.
or MySpace need to come back. I'd rather take my Apple Music or Spotify because the music dictionary is already there, so I can just create my playlist.
But you can
Yeah.
do that. You can still do that kind of.
Yeah.
on what?
Well, you can't just.
You can't
make
do
a
it on like
playlist, but you
I
can,
just want people to have my cool playlist. Like
You can-
here's
you
my
promote
playlist and
songs.
share.
Nah, you can share your playlist though.
Yeah, you
But I want it all in one platform. Like I want to talk, communicate. What you think about this? So like when 2 Chainz come out, I don't want to print screen picture of 2 Chainz and go to Instagram. I want to be right there. You know what I'm listening to?
Doesn't Dat Piff still do that?
Damn.
I know.
Damn. That's
Hey, that was the shit though. That
It
was the
really
shit.
until they
was.
start throwing them bullshit commercials and shit.
Oh yeah, man! It make like you press the X and then another pop up come.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I just
Yeah.
want to download one song. You know what I mean? Like that's
Like
why.
you getting, but listen, they getting every hit.
No, I
They
refuse to
getting-
pay
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they getting money off every hit.
And my
for every
cheap
click.
ass used
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
Pandora,
that's
I used to
true.
refuse to pay them that dollar to get commercial free. I'm like, nope, I won't do
You
it.
just sit there and suffer through the commercial.
I'm like, it's the principle,
I was
bro.
the
You
same
can't
way
just start
until-
charging me
Nah.
for something that was free.
I went on and did it eventually. I was because
You
I was
gotta
like,
do
it's
it
stupid,
eventually.
though.
I just went to Apple Music. I'm like, you know what? Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm paying for it, like, damn, I don't even realize that's how programmed you are with Apple if you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't even realize that $10.99 come out every month on my Apple Music.
Yeah, yeah.
Apple
And
Music should just be iTunes and it should be free.
Yeah, it just come with your, but you like, I got an iPhone. I got
I'm still trying to figure out what's the difference
That's
between
why I can't
iTunes
be
and Apple
fucking with
Music.
Apple
I
and
have
shit like
no
that.
I don't know.
idea.
Cause like
That's
why
so annoying.
advertise iTunes to the people that already got Apple Music? I don't need it. I got everything you need. Even the books. I mean audio books. It's already like integrated.
Yeah.
I don't have to buy iBooks. I can just integrate it. It's already an Apple Music subscription.
Wow.
Kind of crazy. Man, I do want to talk about this, man. It's a hot topic. We ain't talk about it though.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? Amanda Seals, since we talking about R. Kelly on the other side of the spectrum.
Oh yeah, you did want.
Yeah. You follow Amanda Seals?
I do. I really like Amanda.
Oh.
So yeah, you're not gonna like my commentary.
So you've been keeping up with her, right? And you know, like
I'm not familiar with this situation.
All right, you got the clip, Spider?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
All right, check it out.
Check it out.
I really don't take it lightly what I'm about to say. Because when you name names, you know, you put not only that person out there, but you also put yourself out there. But I feel as a woman who makes it my business to be a warrior for the truth, that it needs to be said. I, on my podcast and on The Breakfast Club, spoke about an individual who had approached me on the internet and who we spoke on the phone, and that they said some troubling things in the conversation that made me take a step back, and that also with literally like no investigation, it was brought to my attention that he had sexually harassed a woman by opening the door when she came to meet him for a date, butt naked, and then telling her that she was the one who was overreacting, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I heard that one story and was just like, whoa, that's crazy. When I spoke about him on my podcast and on the Breakfast Club, I didn't say his name. I literally just said a couple like characteristics about him. And it has been shocking and incredibly discomforting to me how many women, 8 as of tonight, that have come forward to say his name. They knew exactly who he was, to say his name, and that he had been incredibly problematic.
Out, you know, proof
Further
in this
investigation
right now.
I don't know the context. Is that true about him?
I mean, she threw it out there because she, based on her having a large platform with her
and people in her
characteristics,
and people sliding in her DMs with it.
8 people came to her and said that this is the person that you were talking about, and she agreed. Like, she had the same interaction verbally. Like, they never met. It was just via text that he got inappropriate, or conversation that he got inappropriate per her post. I think it's kind of a gray line.
Yeah. Did he name names?
No, he never. Like, he never mentioned it. Like, this hasn't even come to the head really, because do you know who Myron Rolle is, first of all? Mm-mm. So Myron Rolle is a former NFL player and Florida State safety, but he's also a Rhodes Scholar.
Okay.
And he's a surgeon.
Yeah, like a neurologist.
He's a neurosurgeon.
He's a neurosurgeon right now. So he, like, on paper, he's like, he's been, you know, he's gotten a lot of public.
Like, he might be a president at one.
Like, he one of those type.
Like,
no, you putting a lot on it. Like, I'm just saying, like,
okay.
but I'm just saying, like, pretty much he has a name.
Yeah.
And he has this image of purity. You know, like, not purity, but you know how that, you know, sometimes you see somebody and they're doing well.
Yeah.
So this can be like a large blow.
Yeah.
Even if it's the alleged news that he might have done, it'd be hard for a hospital to keep him working.
Yeah.
You know, it would have to be some investigation done.
Yeah.
And so I guess it was kind of a gray matter with me, because now you kind of become a judge and jury in the social media.
Yeah, that's real hard to say, because, I mean,
but I get why she did it.
No, like, did she ever say that he raped somebody or he touched somebody?
Now,
it was
she
very
did.
vague.
So the visual that she has, one close friend said that she met Roll in New Orleans, and when he opened the door for the first time, he was butt ass naked.
But did he like pull her in and hump on her? Cause that's
Nah,
it's a difference between being an asshole and being a predator. You know?
No, he said what? I was taking a nap.
No, I'm just saying though, he might.
No,
I mean, he might have thought it was something that it wasn't. Okay, his bad.
But that's great too,
but
man.
But I'm about to say his awareness is idiotic. So first of all, I can't co-sign it, because if I know you coming over my house the first time and you haven't given me any indication that this is what you're looking for.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Especially in this climate.
Or even if you have given that indication, you can still answer the door with clothes.
No, if you ain't talking, no, what I'm saying is, listen, but no, because we're not going to cut it off before. Okay. I'm saying if you ain't told me to be at the door butt ass naked, what I'm saying is, I have no reason to be at the door butt ass naked.
Right.
You get what that's the indication I'm talking about. Like, you have to pretty much tell me
in plain English,
I want you naked, dick swinging. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But no, your awareness, you a smart guy. So this is when you see smart dumb.
But
if you actually did it, allegedly.
Man.
I can't just put that on a man, though, because I ain't never been prompted to do no shit.
Hey, look, but
this is what I was thinking.
Does that constitute sexual assault, though?
No, it's not sexual assault. That's sexual misconduct.
She said,
because he did it at work. Just like
but he ain't at work though.
But
so you do a lot of stuff at home that you can't do at work.
All right, the thing is,
if he at his house naked,
if you expose yourself to me without me wanting you to be exposed to you, I don't give a damn if I'm at your house, my house. I didn't ask to see it. That's just like if I'm in your office or some shit like that, and like pretty much what I'm saying is we gotta be aware that we know, like, even though as tedious as a law could be, you gotta look at the grounds of the law. Mm-hmm. If you expose yourself to somebody unwanted, unobliged,
yeah,
you gotta understand, like, if they go to the cops, they have a case.
Yes.
I don't care where you are, because I didn't ask to see you.
And your point is very valid. However, I'm looking
at the court of law.
I'm looking at it like
you
right now.
If
no one's went to that level,
but see, sexual
you still X them out on social media, like
but see what
that's what's happening, like using your social media.
But the point I'm trying to get to, sexual misconduct could be something as simple as having sex in public. You know.
That's still a felony.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, but that's what I'm. But that's what I'm saying, though.
That
you don't.
It's not inappropriate. That he opened the door naked.
No, I'm saying.
Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying you don't lose your job for sexual misconduct. You don't get ostracized in society for sexual misconduct. Hell, Pee Wee Herman jacked off in the goddamn bathroom and was on a movie. Now he still had a career. You know what I'm saying?
It's certain careers, though.
I'm just saying.
You got to think. You attached to a brand. Like, certain careers you attach to a brand.
But he's not like a star anymore. He's not a football player. He's a doctor.
Your job is still a brand. They know you work for this, because we know that he's doing residency in Pittsburgh.
But my point is,
he's doing resident. Like,
we doing what we do with all everybody without they go to court. We already finding him guilty. That is
the downfall, unfortunately, of social media.
But is that why people are outraged with Amanda Seals for putting a name to it? Because how did this story of him opening the door naked, how did that even come about?
The first thing is she didn't use his name, but she gave a example. Her homegirl on the Breakfast Club. She just said when she was on the Breakfast Club, she said, this dude I've been trying to holler at, we just hooked up like DMs, whatever. And when I told my homegirl, she was like, hold on, I think somebody know. You know that guy. And then they reached out to that person. She and her words was like, asshole. And then she said more detail. And then she, explained to him, like, stop with the predatory behavior. That was it. Mm-hmm. However, I guess everybody else kind of came in with the same story.
How did... so after the Breakfast Club interview, people just kind of put two and two together.
Yeah, because she elaborated more on the
8
podcast.
people reached out and pretty much said that that's Myron Rowe.
So go to what you're saying, like 8 people came out and they felt offended. That's enough evidence to go to the police.
Yeah.
All right. However, they didn't go to the police, and they went and used their own platform or used.
But whether they go to the police or not, I guarantee you he get called into an HR office at his job.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like, did anybody ever say he committed a crime against them?
We can't because we're not.
Nobody. I don't think anybody. I don't know if
that
anybody's
is the
come
point.
forward.
That's completely the point.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's our call,
but that's the downfall. That's why I said that's the downfall of social media.
What I'm trying to determine is this nigga just a bad date or is this nigga a sexual predator?
But
you know,
but Flim, that's what I'm saying. Like
but
when
then
you
nobody
post it on
turned
social media,
they
you
didn't
allow.
They didn't turn over to the proper authority to
and that's
determine that.
And that's exactly what I'm saying though. Like we
that's
asked,
why it's a great
and
line.
we go back to the point: was it right or wrong for her to come out and say these things? Like
I don't think it's right or wrong.
I mean,
answer.
it's just kind of gossip, you know.
I feel like she just felt obligated because in this society or in this climate, basically, it's so heavily against sexual assault, sexual misconduct, sexual abusers, and predators. So when you have a large platform and you're able to essentially, gently kind of warn people. I'll use that word.
You can't gently when you say Myra Rose.
No, I was using the word warn gently. But basically that's what I felt like Amanda was trying to do, using the fact that she has a large platform to say, hey, 8 women, and if you add the person who told me, 9 have said that this man is some type of abuser, is some type of, commit sexual assault or something along those lines. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. I do think it was a little irresponsible on her part, considering how large her platform is. Naming names, like she said at the beginning of her clip, it gets real sticky. You can't name names sometimes. Honestly, a lot of times.
And I feel like that's why I feel like I wouldn't have put his name out there without actually going to the cops first. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing
but that wasn't her job to go to the cops.
No. What I'm saying is like without the women actually showing like
really,
some documentation.
The empowerment part of it is getting with them and letting them know
I can't
right
just go
thing.
off of your word if I don't have any
But
the reason I say it because it's kind of dangerous, but to play judge and jury on somebody's livelihood without it being true, because we've seen it on both sides where they were exonerated, so it's like, but it's still hard to get rid of that scarlet letter of being brought up on sexual misconduct or rape or sexual assault, hitting a woman. Like once you kind of get that on you, you cannot get that stench off you. Like Chris Brown still, like I'm talking about the one in Paris, like.
It's just added. It's just like added.
It added fuel to his fire because now it comes back up with his situation with Rihanna and everything like that. And so it's like, oh, but I didn't do this one.
And it's like word tracks. I guess that's what pissed me off, like you said. So if they say he released an album, Chris Brown, formerly arrested on the Rihanna cases, formerly dropped cases in Paris, releasing a new album.
It just depends on who promoting them though. Cause
no, but
the
main platforms that you wanted to be promoted that reach the biggest targets are the ones promoting it. So you can't get around it. If ABC said, NBC said, you don't care. Vice said, you like Vice, you 9 million over here. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
y'all 52 million at ABC.
I'm not.
Well, he done lost a certain demographic just because.
Oh yeah,
right.
So he had a double mint.
So I understand.
He had a double mint commercial at one point.
Thinking
how big that like.
And Drake took it.
No, but
he did.
But because Chris Brown
right
was
after,
the lovable pop star.
Drake picked it up.
Drake did backdoor him. If you kind of think about the lineage, because then he tried to shoot at Rihanna.
Exactly.
Like, okay,
he took his Sprite and his double mint.
He can't dance.
They need another light skin.
He can't dance.
Man,
he can't dance nearly as well.
Right, and that's what I said. Like I was like, man,
bro.
That's fucked up.
When I saw him flipping land on the beat with March Madness.
Oh yeah.
I just saw that like 2 days ago.
Bro,
I was like, damn.
I was like, this nigga is goddamn Spider-Man with a voice. But so I guess last question that I wanted to ask Ashley, I know this we coming back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do with your first big check off your brand?
Ooh.
What was your first splurge?
Ooh. My first big check was $963. and I got that in 2015. What did I do with that? I went to California.
So you just left, huh?
Yeah, I went to California. It was on some business stuff, but yeah.
So you put it back into the business.
Yeah, I put it right back into my business.
Yeah.
Hey, you had awareness at an early age, because me, I would have went it.
But at some point, life is your business, though. So you know
It is now, yeah.
So, like, do you have any brands, anything that you're working with now, or any things that's coming up? Any?
I'm the brand ambassador of Eunice Hair, so contractually I'm obliged to wear or obligated to wear Eunice Hair. So I just threw it up in a bun today, but usually my hair is like done very nicely because I'm a walking billboard. Eunice Hair.
Hey, if y'all making men wigs, I got a perfect candidate.
Don't look my way. I'm embracing my ball. He been trying to get me to go. He like, bro, just get one time.
He want you to get weed.
He want me to go and get one.
Get the 360, bro.
Like, why are you handling me like this?
How do you know what a 360 is?
Like,
No, the
with
360
the
all the way
waves.
around.
Because you see it. Though.
Yeah, I done
like,
seen
bro,
it. I
how
seen
you
it.
gonna just show up with a fade? Like,
It'd be dope.
It's like
hey,
going back in time,
I mean,
bro.
it'd
Bro,
be
like-
fresh.
Oh my god.
Wear a
what's
watch.
to come with this, dog? Like,
Wear a fade. You know what I'm saying?
I'm kind of glad that these things wasn't popular when I got my little case, because the dude had a fade, and I'm like, I'm bald, like. So he could have been like, well, man wigs. Like, but they
do
would have took it to
exist.
trial.
I
Like,
saw it on YouTube.
they would have took it to trial. Like, oh, we got to end here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Can't even tell the difference. Look at that.
man. So, Ashley, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Pulling
for
up
having
on us
me.
here at Unspoken Conversation, giving us some real behind the scenes insight into having a large platform. Heavy as the head sometimes, because people literally like, I see what those rappers and stuff feel like when people be like, drop another album, bro. I just dropped last month. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
Yeah.
don't
like
rush my
Tyrese.
product.
No.
Do you feel like, because you feel like sometimes your fans or your audience tries to rush your releases and rush your product?
Sometimes, like I'll drop a vlog and somebody will comment like 2 minutes after, be like, I can't wait for the one next week. It's 42 minutes. I don't know how you watch that so fast.
So how long does it take you to
mean-
make that 42-minute?
Well, I film it throughout the week, and then to edit it, maybe 2 hours. But I
Yeah,
mean,
that's good. Like dev time for editing.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours. If you can get it under an hour, and I'm talking about like one cut is like dope. You get in the mode like, oh, let me do about 2 more right quick, cause
yeah.
throw that shit out. Bam.
With me, I like to eat while I edit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll turn on like a Netflix show while I edit.
Yep.
So let's, we gonna help her get these DMs jumping.
Right.
That's
We
what
Oh
need.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah,
do
where
that.
you going? You going out?
Wait, hold on.
No.
No, before we leave, like, give us 3 characteristics that you feel like you looking for. Because hey,
Oh
man,
my
we ain't gonna let you go through 2019 without DMs jumping.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, tell us this if you can't tell us anything. What made you? What was the characteristics about the guy that you hopped in the DMs for at one time?
Oh.
he said something cute.
No.
You want to go get something to eat?
No. Childishly, like very childishly, y'all. He looked like Bow Wow, and I love Bow Wow.
Hey,
Like,
B2K.
so childishly.
She buying the
All you
whole
Bow Wow
row.
looking niggas out there.
So Bow Wow with the braids or
She
without
gonna-
the braids?
It's gonna
Without.
It's gonna be a
Shad
55-year-old nigga in your DMs tonight
No.
talking about shit.
A 5'4" nigga with pretty eyes. Like, hey, baby.
They gonna be like,
No. He didn't have the pretty eyes, but in some pictures, he kind of smiled like Bow Wow. And I was like, this is close enough. He's so handsome. But the characteristic for me is just like handsome, but of course to me. Because, everybody has their own
Yeah.
marker. You don't have to be like a pretty, like a beautiful man.
What about confidence? Like, he ain't as handsome, but he throwing some hella like lines. Like, does he have a shot?
I like confidence, yeah. Self-confidence
All right,
gets
out
your
of
foot in
a-
the door.
Now,
What?
get you to the, it'll get you an interview.
It'll get you an interview, yeah.
okay, so fellas, it's on y'all.
Yeah.
I think the first dude that jump in there with something dope might get a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we dropping probably Monday.
We gonna drop Monday.
You should be.
Hey, you can check this out on the webpage.
You probably need to hop in
tomorrow.
early.
You can
though.
Yeah,
tell
like we
YouTube,
might
put
be
it
gonna
down.
drop this
Hey.
Saturdays because the weekend and still give them a little shade. You know,
Right.
give you the Sunday brunch.
Hey,
day.
y'all need to
plans
just go
this
on,
weekend.
just go and
You got
throw up the
plans.
clip on
Yeah.
Instagram. Throw up the clip on Instagram to give them the heads up. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. We gonna let them know tonight. Hey, just
my
come holler at you.
gosh.
Where your Instagram at again?
Hey, now that I do want to see. Yeah, I want y'all to put pictures up so I can see.
Pictures of what?
Of the dudes. I want to see these niggas.
Oh my
I want to see if they like Bow Wow.
Right.
They don't have to look like
gonna-
Bow Wow. I've
we,
grown.
we gonna do a.
I want y'all like Bow
we gonna do
Wow.
like
I've
a
grown up
midweek
since
check.
then.
So I'm gonna check in with it like Wednesday, Thursday. to
Okay.
see
Wait, we might go
who's
IG
back.
Live. Like, hey, what's going on? How you doing, girl?
My gosh, not like
Ashley,
catfish.
Ashley, hey, get in here.
Right. Like, hey, we
Hey,
trying
we
to check.
need to go find some niggas we think look like Bow Wow.
Right.
Hey,
we
bro.
I'm telling you,
I got somebody. I got somebody.
I'm past that phase,
Hey,
y'all.
Hey, let us set
I'm
you up
gonna
on
go
some
to a
blind
dude
dates.
like this. I'm gonna be like,
No. I'm past that phase. I just need him to be handsome. I need him to be intelligent and
Stable.
confident.
Yeah, we can
Of
set,
course, stable.
because you know I know.
I feel
that's
like that's the obvious.
we can set you up
Yeah.
on some blind dates. We can do that for you.
That's
Right.
so scary.
No,
we got you.
We good judges
we
of
can be.
Man.
No,
We'll be
like-
at the other
Got you.
table. If we gotta be at the
Hey.
other table, like
Yeah.
Y'all
we'll
have
be
to
there.
wear wigs and sunglasses and trench
Oh,
coats.
man, like I just
Hey,
so
that'd
happen
be
to
dope. I wear like a
Hey, I want a Jerry curl. I want a Jerry curl, for real. Spider Man. Anything else, man?
Oh man, first of all, like I said, shout out to the boy D boy, man,
Yeah, shout out to
getting
him.
the bag. And so hopefully his ass show up one of these days,
He'll be
man.
back one
Old
day.
busybody ass nigga.
Calling your ass TikTok. TikTok.
But now, Ashley, so anything you want to say to your listeners or something, like, you know, they might be harassing us.
Man,
you know,
thank you for
hopefully
sliding by
one-
on us. What you
Thank
think, man?
y'all.
You gonna come back and holler at us sometime?
Definitely. I'll keep y'all updated
Oh yeah,
on my dates.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
We gonna
In my
make
DMs.
a love
We
connection.
finna
Yeah,
bring,
we
we
gon-
finna bring you like six,
I'm
seven
telling you.
niggas.
Oh Lord.
Hey,
I got three in the
I got
pocket.
one. Hey, I got one on the railroad. I'm talking about that he hit the sledgehammer.
So you want a blue
What does that
collar?
even mean?
I'm just saying. I'm talking about he's strong, confident. You know, he working. You know, stable.
He
you
got
know,
rough hands,
That Union Pacific money. You know what I'm saying? If you get married with him,
They got
y'all
good
both-
benefits.
Y'all got good benefits.
I need somebody who has time.
Damn, you don't got this time. Yeah.
So she need a nigga that works little but is stable.
So,
you know.
so he got.
I didn't say works little, but I mean, I don't want to just see you from like 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.
in the morning.
Stay up, baby. Stay up. I'm almost home.
We going
Stay
on
up.
vacation.
I gotta stay up all day.
I said 9:30. I'll be there 10:15.
Slide through at
Somebody got
12:45
crushed.
My
a.m.
boss said I need to stay about 2 more hours.
Put in about 3 more hours of overtime. That's 73 hours this week, Byron.
Come in at 3:42 a.m. and leave at 5:01
I
a.m.
was gonna do a little half shift Sunday. That's cool, boo. But I had plans for brunch.
We can't even brunch. Can't even
No,
brunch.
man. So what we going on? So
Spidey,
We
you
got
got it?
something. We got something.
All right, man.
So before we go, man, Ashley, again, thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank
for
y'all
Thank you so
much.
much.
This has
Man. We
been
really
real fun,
appreciate your
yeah.
time, man.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
We starting a YouTube, like a YouTube vlog channel. I'm in there. I'm about to be in the
Yeah.
pocket.
Hey,
Subscribe.
I think I'm too
I'm
boring
a,
for that, though.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know
gonna
what I.
I'm gonna send you a
I can't even
4K
show the
camera.
shit
I
I be
use similar
doing.
to that,
Okay.
but it's smaller, and
Nigga,
I think you'll like
he
it.
wet my
Thank
dope.
you.
Fast to the sweet.
Back to roll up.
Hey, man, we out, man.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.
We out.
Yeah.